Hi, this is Zach Meir with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Monday, the 20th of January. And new president in the US and new highs for the FTSE 100. I presume that the Labour government can claim credit for this fantastic achievement. It's taken many years to get up to 8,500. The near-term target there, the top of that rising trend channel from September 23, around 87.20. Above that, we can dream of 9,000, which is the top of the rising trend channel as governed by that May resistance line. And hopefully we can get that by the end of the first quarter, 9,000 that is. On the downside, hoping that we won't see anything now lower than the old resistance around 84.80, which was the peak back in May last year. But above 87, 84, 70, 80, then we are looking for hopefully further progress, even though this market is currently overbought, the RSI over 70, but we can have a few days of follow through even when the RSI is overbought as it is at the moment. The other point to note is a celebratory golden cross there with 50 and 200 day lines rising. That should give us, as I said, a few more days of positive price action, even if we fade after that. Moving on to the DAX, and here you can see that we are edging higher towards the top of that rising trend channel from the autumn of 2023. The level there, 21,300. We're looking for that perhaps as soon as the end of this month, while we're above the old resistance there at 20,600. So hopefully that can be delivered. Rather simple story of just progress within a rising trend channel. Moving on to the Dow, and here we closed last week on a positive note, i.e. just near the rising 50-day line. Want to see that broken at 43,500, and then hopefully retest last month's resistance at 45,000 by the end of next month, or hopefully even sooner than that. The best case at the moment, if a bit of US euphoria kicks in, is 46,400 by the end of next month, which is the top of that rising trend channel from March last year. RSI's bounced at neutral 50, in fact above neutral 50, so that is hopefully a continuation signal on the upside. Star of the show at the moment, once again, is Bitcoin right up there at 108,000, so retesting last month's resistance, and we're now looking above that. We're looking for above 108, we're looking for 120,000 plus, which is the upper parallel of the resistance line projection from April. So that's the March resistance line projection there. That's heading for 122,000. Hopefully we'll get that by the end of next month. The other positive is the way that we've had multiple support points above a rising 50-day line. So hopefully, while we're on the right side of recent resistance around 106, we will take off and head through towards the 120 plus area. The other point to note is we've had two bounces above RSI 50 there, the last one particularly notable, and therefore looking for some kind of Trump boost to the Bitcoin price. Moving on to gold, and here was a decent end to the week, and basically we were back up near the 2750 level. Want to see an end of day or a weekly close above that to give us the next leg up, not only to 2800, but also as high as 2940 by the end of next month. I think the previous highs there just above the 2800 level. On the downside, not expecting anything now lower than 2720 and that broken October resistance line. Moving on to the stocks and starting off with the Blue Star, and here I think another one of those companies which had to say that it didn't have any reason for the share price rising, but you can see here that we had a massive gap close by signal earlier this month, just a week or two ago, and at the moment we are gapping through resistance. The initial December resistance there at 9 pence. Our initial target here was 11. Above that we're looking for 17 pence plus by the end of next month. The other point to note now is the way that both the 50 and 200 day lines are rising. We've gapped up as well, and the run up to a golden cross, which is what we have at the moment over the next couple of weeks, is the strongest part in the cycle. Ideally, we stay above today's gap at 8 pence. On to Borders and Southern, which is stretching ever higher. Also another golden cross run up here. probably a week or so away from that. V-shaped bull flag, as I call it, looks like a mid-move consolidation. So the initial target here, 4.25. The next target is actually one which would be the upper parallel of that, and we're probably looking for the line I'm about to draw now, up to 5.25 pence, maybe a bit more than that, but 5.25 looks about right, while we're on the right side of the recent support for the shares, near the 3.5 pence level, so above 3.5, looking for 5.25 pence on Borders and Southern. Let's try and get the right line there drawn. Moving on to Bango, which I wasn't expecting to look at, but it looks as though one has to look at it at the moment. Nice gap to the upside here, and looking at the top of that triangle there at 135 pence, while we're above the floor of the gap there at around 108 pence. Next up is a stock which has given its shareholders a rather rough ride of late. We did have the relief spike last week. The main thing here probably is holding above the 50-day line there at 18 pence. The other point to note is that we've got a bear trap island reversal, which actually has been historically our most reliable and big signal. So we're gapping down to a new low and then gapping up as we've done this month. But with that 50-day line, as long as we're above that, we're probably more confident of a move, at least to retest last week's resistance through 40 pence. Another stock which has done us proud, and one which I don't think anybody talks about at all, is Cell AI. And here, nice consolidation, basically near the old resistance on the way down, around 0.2 pence. Above that, we're looking for 0.4. Narrowly missed that before, but hopefully we'll get it on the second run here, and 0.4 hopefully over the next week or two. Moving on to Immupharma, which has revitalized itself with its autoimmune disease news, and here bouncing off the old resistance near 2.8 pence and heading for our target there, the red line, through 5 pence hopefully over the next couple of weeks. The other point to note there is that both the 50 and 200-day lines are both rising now, so we're in the run-up to a golden cross, which makes the upside that much more likely. Decent update from Kodal today, unfilled gap to the upside, and we're within that rising trend channel base from September, top of the channel there, 0.54. Maybe we can get that by the end of next month while we remain above the 0.4 pence area. 2 bounces off RSI 50 in the recent past, so leading indicator on the upside. Hopefully we'll get back above that 200-day line, currently around 0.46 pence over the next few days. Moving on to Optibiotix, which has made noises in India. Amazon India, it's selling its products there. Gap off the floor of that rising trend channel. Best case scenario here up to 26 pence, which is the top of that channel from October. Although obviously we're slightly wary that there is resistance there at 19 pence. So if you're cautious, you want to see an end of day close above that. Deal-making news from Powerhouse, or collaboration news. Here you can see that we've had this rising trend channel in place since February last year, gapped up after a bear trap, so it's a bear trap gap reversal, and interestingly we've had 2 or 3 bounces off neutral 50, so that does imply that we will be able to break through recent 1.25 pence resistance, and eventually, maybe by the end of next month or going into March, head up to 2 pence, but still a bit of a punchy call, a lot of sort of consolidation in the 1.1 to 1.2 area, which is presumably people selling into strength, at least initially. On to one of the stars of the show and of the Bulletin Board heroes and everywhere else in the recent past. Got another 10% rise here for Sealand, and here it looks as though top of the channel there now up to 16 pence, which hopefully could be hit by the end of next month, while we remain above the latest support from Friday at 10 pence, but still looking pretty strong. Those candles looking pretty strong as well, opening at the low, closing near or at the high. And finishing off with Zephyr, here you can see that I've got this nice consolidation above a rising 50-day line. We don't want to get too excited about the upside here, but 4.75 pence resistance on the way down back in the summer is possible, especially after all these bounces for the RSI above neutral 50. In fact, we haven't been back below RSI 50 since the middle of last month. And the view here is that the longer we stay above 3.25 pence, the greater the chance of 4.7 pence by the end of next month. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.